We got it. Welcome, welcome. This is the Metatron Meditation. Today's theme is dimensional coherence. So with that, let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And as we come into the room and come into the moment, I could talk with you for hours about the Metatron code, what we are here to be doing as star beings. But today, following the last two transmissions we've done from last week leading into this week, truly what the code is about is it helping us to achieve the mindset so that we can live our lives in dimensional coherence. Because truly what we're supposed to be up to is awakening from that dream space, right? If we're here dreaming in this reality and this beautiful space, then we should be able to live the dream consciously in this third dimensional space, in this programmed space, to be able to take the eternal essence of us that is flowing infinitely fast. And, the construct of time and timing is to slow that eternal essence down. But so often we have self-identified with time and timing and relationships that we've lost touch with the eternal essence of who we are. So our nature has shifted from one of being relational to each other, which triggers our relational self to associate with the construct of mirroring. So our definition of who we are and what we are to the world around us becomes that through the mirrors through which and the lens through which we see the world, instead of through first that of our eternal self and our eternal essence. So the concept of dimensional coherence is simply that of being able to perceive ourselves through our metatronic self, through the highest frequency we are possibly capable of capturing, and landing that, right, in a space of coherence where all dimensions right themselves within our space and being outside of space and time, if you will, as and at a point of oneness, because it's through time and it's through space that we create that relational construct. So I'm going to give you a definition of dimensional coherence, and then we're just going to drop into the transmission space. It's like the definition brings us into that relational construct, right, over on one side of our brain. But really, as we drop into the meditation, that ultimately is there to help us orient to that construct of we are all things simultaneously, and how do we land ourselves in a frame of reference where we're capturing all essence of our being, not just the physical, the mental, the emotional. We're used to thinking of ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, but dimensional coherence is so much more. It's how do we sit here and feel the room, right? Feel the room and feel the air, feel all of our senses, but then feel the color in the room, and not just the colors that we see through our eyes, but the colors we see through our soul when we close our eyes and imagine the sun and the other flames that exist when we start to fractalize the light within, right? Or when we start to see the geometries. See, we're starting to pull the dimensions into form. We're starting to pull the fifth and the sixth dimensions into form. Our inner self is capable of processing all of these dimensions simultaneously. Our Metatronic mind is capable of processing and harnessing all of these senses, advanced senses simultaneously. Our human mind does not. So that's dimensional coherence. How do we bring consciousness to all of these dimensions simultaneously? Not just how do we process our emotions and some of the things that hit us when we're in a very 3D space, but how do we harness all of this simultaneously? So at a very philosophical level, dimensional coherence is the shift from the separation to the wholeness, right? It's the shift from relations where it's you and me, or separateness, to wholeness where it's all happening simultaneously. It's that mindset that we embody, the unification of all of these parts. It's no longer separation because we can see the geometries and the light that is connecting and synchronizing us in between ourselves. It's the ability to, again, dissolve those mirrors, right, that have been built between ourselves of time and distance, and blend those inner energies, which, as I just said, break down into doubts, dreams, what we call reality. And we allow ourselves to feel them in our body as daily rhythms or geometries or light into a single vibrant flow within our body. So as we feel within our mind that essence of the Metatronic frequency, so go ahead and close your eyes. Nice deep breath in, exhaling out, imagining that light link, the sun, and feeling the earth beneath your feet. And then imagining it shifting into a star link, the sun melting into the center of your mind. Giving you just a moment to breathe, as though the sun is now reflected in the center of your mind. Because do we truly know, right? Is the sun really out there, or are we just mirroring or observing a mirror of the light within us, reflected, fractalized out, the same fractalization out for all of humanity? One unified frequency that binds all of these pieces together. One unified frequency of light that brings chaos into clarity, that inert potential into action. Where it's not about going out and escaping, but allowing ourselves to feel creation, aligning around this pillar of light within us, that deep pulse within us, that rainbow of light force within us. It is an ignition point where the fragmented becomes one. The fragmentation becomes one, where all of the mirrors reflected back to you over the course of your lifetime shatter into one unified flame, where all of the versions of who you have been in this lifetime, like tributaries, fuse into one collective path. All parts, all paths flowing. Every doubt, all of your dreams, one heartbeat, one universal pull, pulsing into a unified flow. And so as you feel that brilliant light inside of your mind, organizing all of these mirrors so that they aren't fractalizing into like a hall of mirrors that could go potentially different directions, but lining up as though you've thrown a stack of cards on the floor and they've scattered, But as we focus in on that bright light inside of the mind, it's like that stack of cards or all of those mirrors are perfectly aligning into a perfectly stacked deck. And as you hone in on your exact frequency, you tune into a frequency that dissolves these mirrors and this illusion of time and distance. And it's no longer about leaving our reality behind. It's no longer about eliminating the trauma or the pain or the struggle. It's about igniting it with purpose. It's about allowing the creative force within you to be fueled by life's deeper rhythm. Nice deep breath in, exhaling out. And so as you find yourself aligning all of these mirrors from the spark of light at the top of your mind, we could say stacking them all the way down the spine to that deep pool down in the center of the earth. Go ahead and seek out that flame, that ignition point. Let yourself find that spark, that ignition point just for you. Let all of these dimensions coalesce from this lifetime. And not only other lifetimes, but other dimensions into one. For it is not only here in this body and in this earth reality where we have learned to be an emergent species of light, where we have learned to extrapolate light into beauty and creation, and to roll the light over and to think and reflect, and to transform it into art, into music, into the sounds and the rhythm of the waves and the wind and the trees, where we've learned to slow light down into words of poetry and stories upon stories upon stories that create these forms of measurement of what life is. And through life, we have learned to restore ourselves and to rejuvenate ourselves, emerging over and over again. And so it is at this stage and this point in humanity's chapter, I guess we could call it, we are at another ignition point. We are being called to not only recall our true purpose as an emergent species, but to harness this blueprint and that of other galactic blueprints. to truly remember how great and profound our potential is for re-emerging, for harnessing and extrapolating the beauty within the light and allowing it to re-emerge and regenerate itself upon itself over and over again, so that beauty and light and love and the nature of the heart can be what rises to the surface. So as you feel yourself reaching deep into the spine, down through these dimensions, as they come into coherence, reach deeper through each of these blueprints, deep within your DNA. Allow those mirrors to alignment. Allow those pieces from some place deep within your soul to click into place. Reach within for that light and start to pull it through. And allow that flame to rise all the way through your spine. That we started with, in the center of your mind, the light is turned up even brighter. An even brighter light is formed. A new regenerative star is born. For this is the power of dimensional coherence. It is you becoming more. Just take a few moments to feel that rainbow force of light coming through you and to you. Feel the more flowing through your DNA, arcing up your spine. More and more light streaming through from someplace outside and yet in the depths of you. You as you, and yet so much more than you knew yourself to be. Locking in. Until every cell feels completely free. Nice deep breath in, exhaling out. Rolling the shoulders, making a fist, shaking the hands out, rolling the wrists, rolling the ankles, wiggling the toes, allowing that light to stream now through the spine, through the hips, through the shoulders, through the heart, through the neck, allowing the light to pulse in the mind, through the ears, through the skull, through the feet, through the hands. Rubbing the hands together, making your way back into the room, to the moment. Nice deep breath in, rolling the shoulders. Welcome back. May it be a beautiful day. Namaste. So much love.